Good. Well, we'll try to keep the stress down.
You almost to, it's got crap. Where you at? They lost people for shooting the youth.
4:59.
66.
That's way more
Were
wrong
you a
than
freshman then?
before.
No, I was a junior.
Okay, let's go ahead. Okay.
That
I
was,
think it's
that
okay.
was probably the worst.
Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order if we can. And who would like to offer the prayer?
I'll pray for you.
Okay.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening that we're able to get together. We pray, God, for your guidance and your wisdom in the decisions that are made here this evening. May they benefit our county and our families and students and staff. We have a special prayer, Lord, for Janet. We ask for complete healing of her body, head to toe. Keep her spirits up, Lord, and help her to just return to us whole again soon. We thank you for your many blessings in your Son, Jesus. In his holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Or no, I'm sorry. Josh, how about if you do the Pledge of Allegiance since you're a veteran?
Thank you. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now introductions. We'll start back with you, Josh. and
Josh C.
That's for Jessica Markwood, Sheena Van Meter, Sean Collars,
Roy Harper.
Doug Hines, Melvin Shook.
And Dixie Bean. Welcome, everyone. Janet Rose, yeah, she's here in color, I tell you. All right. Under presentations, we have Josh for maintenance and transportation, and he's going to discuss the punch list at MES, and then Jessica.
So we got started back. Of course, we always have our little bit of hiccups with the doors opening back up. Nothing really dynamic to the point. Some lights, some small things, some bees, some air conditioning units, but I think for the most part it went about like every year has so far. Yeah. Transportation wise, we tried a new a route. It didn't work. We were just trying because our numbers were a little bit different on one bus than another, and we were just trying to get some things going. But we switched it back all around. But everything seems to be going smooth. We're just transitioning right along, one work order to the next. We did go over to the Pilgrims Building, I guess we're calling it.
MES Jim.
MES Gym, and created a punch card. Of course, I'm not a contractor, but I did my best to try to put it in chronological order, how we could approach it and what still needs to be done. There may be something that we missed along that line, but I think it's a really good starting point and an idea of what all we still need for that building.
What is the status on the insulation that
We're still waiting on the gentleman that got the metal bid. He was supposed to meet me either Friday or today to get a key. I haven't seen him yet. He's got to take the metal down before we can put the insulation up. Yeah, what we put up already, he's going to take it down. Once it's down, then we'll call the insulation and then we'll go from there. But I have
Did he not call you, tell you he wasn't?
No.
That's not a good sign.
no. Thursday, made contact with him. I told him either Friday or today, and he told me yes, absolutely. And I never heard from him either day.
I never know you anymore. Putting a roof on my father-in-law's. Putting a roof on my father-in-law.
Oh, he is? Oh, there you go.
That's where they are. I can walk over and like, you're late.
Yeah.
That's where they are. Well, we did talk to the insulation guy, and he's good and ready to go when the time comes, so.
What do you think the timeline will be? How long do you think it will take?
I think once he gets the metal down, the insulation will go quick, a day or two. And then I don't know how many's on this guy's crew. I haven't met him yet. I know his name's Jim.
Yeah, there
I
are
talked to him
5
on the
or 6
phone.
people.
I haven't even made face-to-face contact with him yet.
You can give you an idea how long it takes
Nah.
to do it then.
It's the same fella that did the patching pave work over at the property at Northfield High School on the launch pad, which we didn't know until we went to pull their business stuff and then realized we had them on the file already. So they'd already done work for us in the past, but the work that I have, again, personally seen them do, they're quick. I mean, they're early and stay late and work pretty nonstop. So with about a crew of 5 or 6 people, so I don't know how long it'll take them in that in. When we get them in there, will you ask them that?
Oh, yeah.
What their thoughts
Yeah, what their
are on
timeline is, yeah.
Timeline.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And I don't know how many's on his crew. That's another big portion up there. I mean, when he did the paving, there was quite a few of them.
There are quite a few working it, but I don't know if they have multiple crews either. So
I
I
don't
mean, I've seen one group work, but there might be other teams. I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that.
So the other things like the bathroom and all that, can you go ahead and finish those before they do the installation? Or-
The floor in the bathroom is what we were waiting on to put down. They wanted to put the floor down before we put the seal on the toilet. It's all plumbed in. It just needs
Right.
set and then hooking the lines up. I mean, you're talking a couple hours, really. Yeah, once that floor's down and the floor's already in there, it's just we were kind of waiting because we kind of put on that stop, that hold, and we just kind of backed off of everything, but it wouldn't take very long to Frank and Tom to go in and knock that out.
Are you planning on going to sidewalk now or what you planning to do?
I haven't. I have to talk to Sarah and see what our numbers are on that. My guys do not feel comfortable though at all. They're worried about the downward slope. They're not concrete people. They're not really capable of concrete. And, you know, it's permanent. So
Well,
We
if
put-
nothing else, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
If nothing else, we could, do like a gravel that you could put
In the
concrete
meantime?
on top of.
Yeah, gravel would be no problem. I think we were just pushing the things that we knew would cost us money, additional money to the end to see where we
Yeah.
fall financially. Like, you know, the internet eventually. the
to
cameras,
get the building open is what I did with the punch card. The future items were things that, yes, we want them. Do we need them? Not
Yeah.
really. I mean, there is some blacktop that goes around there and it kind of curves around a little, so if it was raining or snowy or something like that, they could still access the blacktop and make it there, but it's not going to be one straight line of concrete leading right to that door. So there's still a pathway there. It's just not a straight line.
So how much of the work on the punch list can we do then? I know the bathrooms and all that, the brackets for the lights and HVAC.
That's in his, Jim, the contractor. That's in him. I don't have it in front of me. May I look over your shoulder?
I mean, there isn't anything real difficult on there that you have.
It can all be done fairly quick. Even the fire marshal inspection, that'll probably be on him. I don't know how fast I can get him here, but even painting the plywood.
Right.
Coach A's already said that he's going to do that. It's not even on us to do it. He said he was going to do that.
Well, we've been
So,
told that many
I know,
times.
I know, me as well. But that little bit of drywall that's in there, there's a couple odd corners, but Frankie is really good at drywall. And then Tom can knock that plumbing out. We could do it. We could do it when those guys were in there, just as long as we had the electric and whatnot up. But we could have it done fairly quick once the insulation's in. And,
Didn't I see an AED over there already?
I think there is one in there already. The Stop the
Okay.
Bleed's not there, but there is an AED in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we definitely need one in there since it's
Yeah.
gymnasium.
And Pratt.
David.
Yeah.
David keeps up with all those. They come in and they test them every, yeah, I'm sure you know about it, yeah.
Thanks for getting that list. I was curious what all needed to be there. I think it's something that's really doable as long as we push it.
I do
We don't
too.
Push it, I think
Yeah,
we
well-
see it a year from now.
Being able to get the contractors in place. Now we can, and once I meet Jim, I'll get a timeline, a better idea, and even before I see you guys again, I'll let Dr. Van Meter know, and then she can put it out what we think that final time's going to be. I'll see what I can figure out that way. But I will call him tomorrow and make sure that we hook up, and if I have to drive down to Oldfields, I will. I have one question. Since Mr. Harper's left the middle school, is there any plans for the cornfield behind the intermediate school at all? Because it's just growing up. It wasn't planted this year.
Yeah, we're meeting up there.
I didn't know if there was something there. Nobody's ever said anything. Nobody's ever followed up. The corn maze was great.
Well, I've talked to the new ag teachers, and she would like for me to prepare
Continue?
for next year.
Okay.
I mean,
It's going to grow up if not.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I see across from Tollgate what happened there. I don't want that to happen.
The Bradford pear trees, you know what those are up there?
I think so.
You can't be able to brush hog, that'd be,
Yeah.
how did you do that? Now set on fire?
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Question, Josh.
Thanks,
East
George.
Hardin High School, the parking lot lights, are they on a time that they adjusted on?
They're on a timer, and we've had finagle. Hayden's, it's only his first time turning them back on, and we've missed it. It's been during the day. The
Yeah,
lawnmower guy sent me pictures during the day.
I've been down there twice,
Yeah.
it's super neat, and they were all
Yeah,
lit up and all.
yeah.
Brush up on
But they are on a timer.
Okay.
But he's still kind of learning.
back there.
Yeah, it was several different schools that happened to.
Are they good now?
I'll have to ride over and look. I think it's like late in the afternoon, late in the evening when they're coming on. I think they're coming on really early.
Yeah, when I was at Park at 6, they were
Yeah.
on the evenings.
Yeah. Nelson will let me know.
Yeah, or if I think,
You
they'll
guys
let
are-
me, and I'll check with Garrett for football practice. I can have him drive up and around before he leaves and look. I'll try to have him check it if I'm not over there.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Jessica?
Yes, ma'am.
All
All right. So for some technology updates, well, do you want me to start technology or CTE or?
Whatever.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions about work orders? Are there? Or any additional questions? All right. So to give you an update, we have been going through the refresh initiative. At this point in time, all of the iPads have been distributed to students, as well as teacher MacBooks are distributed to teachers, and we do have sidecar iPads that have been distributed to teachers as well. There were some cases and keyboards that were ordered from a vendor, and we have some tracking information for those coming for that shortage, so that should be remedied this week. We also have extra duty contracts with 6 school support staff. They've been helping us manage the inventory and the distribution from that level, as well as the new paperwork that's needed in order to meet some E-rate guidelines and some SIPA guidelines. They've been making sure that we've been receiving back all the terms and use agreements, which is that SB20 form, as well as some of our device loss, repair, replacement agreements. And of course, the device loss is a new form that we've rolled out this year. That's the form that helps us track the device as it's coming through once there's an issue. So they have 72 hours to report that there's been damage that happens to the device. And they use that form then to send home to parents or guardians. Lets parents or guardians know that something's happened. They sign off on it and it comes back to the school. And then that paperwork travels with the device for repair. So we can see how long it takes from point A to point B to get it back. Our goal is no more than 3 days for them to be without it. In a perfect world, we'll get a device back in their hand that day for use and access, because a lot of that curriculum and resources being online now, it's important that there's no interruption with those students. With that being said, we also understand that the price for the replacement, which is running about $458 now, is significant to parents and guardians. So we rolled out that optional damage waiver platform, and we've had over 200 families that have opted into that program now. So I'm excited for them. They should be able to first rate right out of the gate. We've had one that has already crashed and burned, and we've been able to do a full replacement within hours. So we're okay there. And that rate, just for full disclosure, it's the $40 for the first student, $30 for the second student, and it's $100 for families with 3 or more. So we have a cap on that. And essentially, because you're opting in up front, it's waiving you from that waiver agreement where you've got the $240 screen replacement or the $458 full damage replacement. The most that they'll pay after opting into that form is that $49 per incident. So our tech support have been wonderful with communicating that to the public, because I know it's a brand new program, and letting them know that it's not an insurance program. It is a waiver program that we're running in-house here to keep it as streamlined as possible. I also want to give a special shout out to Doddridge for gifting us some of their surplus inventory. We're currently wiping those, and we have plans to update our secretary stations and our CTE production labs with those. They gifted us charging stations, towers, all-in-one units, and several dozen monitors to help with the expense of updating a lot of our fleet. So while our staff and students, a lot of them are going one-to-one with the Apple devices, we still have several Windows labs that are open and operational, and that's what we're leveraging these devices for those updates.
And Mrs. Markwood drove the box truck to Doddridge County to get.
I did drive the box truck to Doddridge County, and it was amazing. They have a beautiful facility. Yes, and I'm super excited that they gifted us. And I also told them in the future, when they're doing updates, because they have some really nice equipment.
Still as well off as they used to be.
Absolutely.
One time, they didn't have to take any state funds because
They still don't.
the fracking, basically the fracking.
The gentleman up there told me, and I don't want to misquote, but it was up near $20 million surplus. So they're totally self-sustainable. But we do have something they don't, and that's a box truck with a lift gate. So they were super excited to see that when they wanted to lift those giant rolling gates. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. They probably will,
We'll
but
take your hand-me-down.
I will gladly. Especially since it's nice equipment too. So we're grateful for that. That's all I have for tech updates. Okay, we'll roll into the curriculum and instruction. And we've been working with Eastern to develop some additional opportunities for our college-bound students. So our high school students can take multiple dual credit. There's a level up agreement that is very similar to what we've done in the past. And I apologize for the typo on pages 7 and 8. We'll get that county updated at the top immediately. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. We're going to offer some tourism and travel credit opportunities for those students as well that are in our hospitality and tourism courses. So they have 3 credit options now that they can use for dual credit, in addition to what we've been running through our ag and business
Do many
programs.
kids in college with an epidemic state have that? For like, if you want to become a hotel, supervisor, manager, do many students go into those type of programs? Because at one time they said there was a big interest,
There
a big
still is.
demand for those type of
It's
positions.
forecasted in our local workforce data that hospitality and tourism is still huge and growing in the area. So much so that Eastern has now that new certificate program for that hospitality and tourism, and that's where these credits are going towards. So they've launched it at that level, and now these students can get in on it with a couple additional credits here while they're getting their completer courses.
Do they have the opportunity? Because I know a person that his daughter is head of Cracker Barrel in
Mhm.
Harrisonburg. She makes lots of money, and if they make money, then she gets a bonus.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal.
It's huge. It's
Okay.
huge.
I just
Yeah.
didn't know if kids were taking.
Yeah, so right now for enrollment across at East Hardy High School, we've got the Pro Start program. And then here with Morford High School, we have the hospitality and tourism. And we're looking at about 40 kids across the board that are enrolled. And we turn out on average about 18, 20 completers. So that's students that have taken those 4 courses. And we're hoping with those students that are completers that they take advantage of this dual credit opportunity as well. There is a middle school for high school credit option or policy for review later in the meeting. And just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that the courses that this impacts is going to be our Spanish course that our 8th graders take, our BCA 1 course, and our Ag 1. With the changes to CTE policy 25-2013 that took effect July 1, these are the courses through CTE that are also eligible for high school credit. And in order to get them the seat time, as well as meet the additional simulated workplace standards, we needed to have a policy on file that we could use as a framework for going forward and making new
If
opportunities.
they get a credit, will that hurt them? Or would that make them eligible to graduate sooner?
They will get high school credit at 8th grade level like they do now with the Spanish and BCA 1. So that way it opens up their schedule as juniors and seniors to take
Just
more
to take
college credit,
okay.
or if they want to opt in to the internship apprenticeship options that we have available now, or if they want to be dual completers, they could go to South Branch and complete a program at their home high school if they wanted to. It does open up the door for a lot of other options for them.
So what were the three things, the Spanish and the?
BCA's Business Computer Applications
Mhm,
and the Ag 101.
okay.
And that BCA and Ag are now a part of that middle school initiative with that new policy. All right. Well, that's going to roll me into the CTE updates. The Launchpad site is up and operational. It actually opens this week. It will be open for 8:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. with our farmers market and roadside retail. It's going to be open on Wednesdays and Thursdays this semester. They also have a Facebook and Twitter page that they have generated, and they'll be advertising open hours and specialized items and items of interest. The cafe won't be opening until next week on the 11th, but that's because those students at both high schools are going to be in Canaan Valley this week at the West Virginia CTE Admin Conference as a part of their showcase for that food trailer event. So they are making items and they are there, but they're going to be off-site on the days that the site will be open. We've also added an animal processing course to both high schools to support students that are interested in the career field that's available. And we should look to see some immediate results at the ham, bacon, and egg sale this spring. As a part of that, Moorfield High School has installed the new smoker, which if you remember back in the spring, I alluded to. That project is installed now and fully up and operational. And we want to thank Senator Smith and Senator Taylor for their generous donations to make that possible. East Hardy High School has also seen some love from Pilgrims, who has gone above and beyond with processing and blasting their tables, repairing and fabricating stainless steel options onto that, and received additional equipment, walkthroughs, refrigerator fans, and there's a couple other things that we have coming for them, slicers, bandsaws, that they are on site, but some updates that we need to remove some rust in a few other areas, but for the most part, we're up and running. And there is some cross collaboration going on between our programs at the CTE event. The new smoker is smoking the meat that will be showcased up there for the event. So we'll have some final status reports on how we did for our CTE programs this week from the event. We'll get our CTE report card and our scorecard and accountability report soon. So, questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Busy. There are no public comments. Next, we move to our consent item.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion is approved 5-0. We go to unfinished business. And we have the policy that was sent out, the two policies, I guess, for first reading, granting high school credit to middle school students, policy IDKB.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion of that? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's approved 5-0. Approval of finance procedures and operations, it's attachment 4.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And it is approved 5-0. Under new business, our first is the approval of contracts between the Hardy County Commission and Hardy County Board of Education for the PRO program. It's attachment 5. There's one for Austin and one for Deputy Sharp.
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve these two PRO contracts. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Sure, Janet.
What is the difference in salary? What makes it different?
One has, the one at East Hardy has a grant or a stipend, and we don't have that at Mooresville. I remember asking that last year.
Okay.
They pay the difference.
I thought maybe it was because each party, there were only 2 schools, and more. Four schools.
I think it's just based on one school.
We only pay
Okay.
18, we only pay the 18.6. We only pay the 18, whatever of that one salary,
Okay.
and the commission makes up the difference.
So we ready to vote? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and it passes 5-0. Next is the approval of memorandum of understanding between Eastern West Virginia Community and Technical College and Hardy County Board of Education for dual credit pathway agreement for teaching, allied health, associate in science of hospitality and tourism. It's attachment 6.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve those. And we previously mentioned that we needed a correction on a couple pages, so. All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, and it's approved 5-0. Attachment number 7. Is a list of our dual credit courses. And these were effective July 1, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve attachment 7. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's approved 5-0. Next is approval of the CEFP amendment. It is attachment 8.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the CEFP amendment, which is, they're amending it to have a secure entrance addition to Moorfield Middle School. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and it's approved. Approval of Hardy County Board of Ed Transportation Employees Alcohol and Controlled Substances Policy. First reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on this. What the change is on this is, if they hit a deer, they don't have to have a drug test, or if it's a God-given act, like a limb falls or something like that.
Except for dog times, we're gonna put a little asterisk in there, so make sure.
Well, yeah, I'd say that was, that's, get your blood up a little bit, makes you a little angry too.
So, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's approved, 5-0. And last on new business are our board goals. I had handed out just a quick and dirty sheet last time for board goals, and Sheena, God bless her, cleaned it up real nice.
Good, I'm glad.
I really think.
He's worried about it.
So have you all had a chance to look over those? Do you think that we needed to set some goals? So
I think moving on, focusing on student achievement is always important. And that's one of that's our mission.
Oh, absolutely.
Move we approve.
And with the scores that, we haven't seen the full scores or any breakdown, but the scores that have been shared with us weren't too good. We were right
No.
on. Did you see those, Janet?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So,
Yes, we definitely have, plenty of room to improve.
absolutely. So,
Move we approve the goals.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to approve the board goals for the 24-25 school year. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, now we're down to, board members, superintendent discussion, no action may be taken on any of these items.
I'll start if that's okay.
Mhm.
We have the out-of-county student enrollment numbers that was handed out to you all. No, I'm sorry. Out-of-county? Oh, you just didn't make a separate name one. I'm sorry. My fault. I have them right here. But we have a total of out-of-county transfers, which are students that live in other counties that are transferring into Hardy County. We have a total of 105. And a lot of those are new students, and they have the name on them, which is why I'm not handing those out at this point. But then 27 students are in-county transferring from one school to the other in-county. So if you would like to see that, I'll be happy to pass it around to you if you want to take a look at specifics. We also have our enrollment update I wanted to give you. So we have currently enrolled in WEVA's 2,208 students, which is up a little over 50 from 2,208. So we're up 50 some kids from last year, which is great. Our virtual program, I think, has 53 plus kids in it. I received notice today that we had some additional students that are currently attending a private Christian program in the area that will be enrolling with us, some additional ones. Got to bump that up a little bit more, so we're very happy about that. We have applied, Ms. Lewis has applied for the a bus grant, a grant for transportation. If that grant, federal grant, is denied, then we let the state know, and a lot of times they'll give us additional funding for the buses when we have that increase. So we have already started that process, which is a really good thing.
Thank you.
In the end, with the money that comes in from those. We also have 6 people enrolled in the associate's degree program that you all approve and sponsor for our employees. So those are service employees who apply to get their associate's degree in Hardy County Schools, pays for that through Eastern. We have 2 that are returning that were in the program last year that will be finishing up, and then we have 4 new ones. So I thought that was great news to share also. And I think that's it. Oh, no, it's not. Stop today. You were going to say something, thought I was finished. Strategic plan updates. If you see the yellow folder that was at your seat, I wanted you just to have that. If you just want to keep it with your board stuff so you can refer to it, but you have a copy of each of the school's strategic plans as well as the county strategic plan. So it's front and back, and you can kind of flip through. It's just the goals and the action steps so that you'll have an idea as we proceed throughout the year that the academic goals that we have align with our, not only our counties, but our schools. And our number 1 strategic plan, I think, is the academic achievement one that you saw on that list. So, I'm sorry, no, I didn't even hear it. I'm really frustrated. An update for the beginning of the year, no. I don't have anything more, but I'll get Joe to give you an update.
Homeschool.
Homeschool.
I just have the minutes.
Sure.
Agenda for the South Ranch meeting the other week. Just pass it around, make sure Ms. Janet gets a copy on And then also the Parks and Rec meeting that we went to, Dixie. They discussed the Baker Park, and the commission discussed that today also. The only thing that they were asking about was that 3-year, if it isn't taken care of for 3 years, then it's a sole discretion of the superintendent. And they were worried if 10 years from now, you have a new superintendent that was mad at somebody.
Okay,
And I couldn't remember, was that 3-year take back, was that in the old paperwork that we originally had?
I think that it was. I'm pretty sure it's a carryover.
Usually is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a carryover. But I can double check, or is there anything that you can, I don't know how you control that, honestly, that's kind of a weird situation.
Did they think they should retain it no matter what?
No, they were just concerned that 3 years if somebody says, well, you're not taking care of it. If the superintendent would get mad at the Parks and Rec Commission or something, and say, look, y'all not taking care of it.
What if we put with the approval, the superintendent with the approval of the board?
I think that's
I think
satisfying.
that would fix it. That way it's not just one person, it would have to.
Well, that was the only
go forward.
concern that they had. The
Okay.
only person was in
Okay.
control.
I think that's it. You write on here?
We should be able to change that ourselves.
I just want to make it.
If she scans that email.
You don't have the original deed or anything. do
I
you?
don't, but I think I can, if that's the only change, I think that I can get her to make that. I'll just tell her I need it in the next couple of days. Try to get it in a day.
Well, that would be good, because they asked me about it today, and I told them, well, they're gonna send it to their lawyer to look at.
Okay,
And I said, if we get it on the next meeting, then we can go forward with that. But we need it the Wednesday before that meeting, so
okay, when is the next meeting?
hours.
You would need it, that's not
Yeah.
the Wednesday before, before
For
this
our-
meeting.
our
I'm sorry, I
agenda,
thought you meant the commission.
No, we need
Okay,
to
I
have
gotcha.
one
I can figure
We can go ahead and put it
out.
on the agenda if it doesn't go through, we can always
Take it back off. Yeah, sounds good.
Now we would have it ready.
Okay.
Well, if she can't have it ready, you can just scan the document in and then we can change it.
Well, trust you, at least you could
Oh, well, yeah,
take
as
a
long as
line out
it's
and clean up your deed.
$100.
You don't have any idea what the cost is, don't you?
On that specifically, no, I can get it broken down for you. I mean, it's been a lot of back and forth, so it's probably a decent amount. Okay. Help me do it.
One other thing that we were talking about, and Sheena told me that she could get, Bonnie Kreitz, is that correct?
Yeah.
We're gonna, as we hear our assessments and stuff, and she gives us our information on that, I kinda wanna keep track as part of our goals for the people that are right on the cusp of being proficient, and that we find out how many questions that they need to answer correctly to move up, and also the ones that are in the bubble place, even the lowest, that they could move up, how many questions. And I thought maybe we could even write a letter to the parents and let them know that they are so close to being proficient and how proud we are of them, that if they could just work and this is maybe what they could do. I think if we put some effort behind pulling those kids out, I think we could be successful. Janet,
Yes,
what do you think?
I think you're right. I do.
I really think that might be the answer to us. And, I'm not laying in bed thinking about this stuff at night, but that's kind of a takeoff from Dave Rudy. When we got into trouble and they thought there was cheating at East Hardy, that's exactly what he did. he figured out with the kids how many more questions they needed to answer right and told them. And he taught them some test taking techniques. And I think a lot of those kids had some special needs and they were able to be successful. So there's no reason our kids can't be successful.
Agree.
Anybody else have anything?
When Mrs. Craig's comes with those numbers, I hope she brings actual numbers, not
Yeah,
percentages.
I have it in my notes from discussions before that you all did
The
want to.
percentages sometimes are misleading.
Yeah, you want to see how many kids, yeah, for sure.
It's okay if she wants to give us those,
Sure.
but
Yeah, have
we need raw numbers.
Exactly.
So, future agenda items.
You know, one thing we discussed at our meeting, Josh, what's that committee?
LSI, or LEPC.
You know, if we actually have an active shooter, who's our sniper team? And there really was no answer from them. They said, well, the state police, but at the time they get here out of Charleston, I think they have one. You know, we could be in a bad situation, especially, you know, who do you get if there's someone on the roof of one of the schools, God forbid if it ever happens. But there's really no one, you know, even the police that were there, the sheriff's deputy. What's the guy from, lives up Truck Run? Is he a Miller?
Why don't they
JT.
just shoot at them?
Yeah.
I mean,
They
My,
really didn't have an answer to the question.
my concern, and Josh is probably tired of hearing me say it, is I'm very concerned that should there be an actual event that we won't know who's in charge. Like when something would go, you've got the town, you've got the sheriff's office, you've got the state police, and everybody's gonna converge and we're not gonna have the same radio waves, access to buildings, who knows where, what, that, we're planning
They
a
do
drill.
feed you.
And we need to do one soon so that we can just kind of get us first as a system, we know how to respond. But then the
It
next
would
step would be
be-
inviting those folks in.
It would be
saying,
chaotic because you would, who's on, you know, who would be
"We
in
listen to
charge?
who's in charge.
we need to have that guy from Charleston. He said he'd be glad to come. You know, the guy with got the big neck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Who's the
talking
one,
about?
who's the one guy that,
He
had
he
a
said
card, he
he
gave it
would
to me. He
be
has something.
glad to come
From over the
and
Houston
work with
Yeah.
our group. I mean,
he gave me a card.
they need to have a
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes beyond what we know. We're not gonna be the ones with the weapons that have the capabilities. We can keep the kids safe within the buildings with our procedures and routines.
But if you have a shooter, like sit on top of the
I
school
mean, how
somewhere.
stuff goes with EMS
Well,
is
they need to
whoever
trouble.
starts seeing takes command.
Yeah.
And they're in command until they relinquish command.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that guy could really, really help.
Yeah.
Um,
was it?
we have to call Jim Brown, but it was,
He should be in Charleston.
yeah, he's in Charleston and it's all,
He really.
The session.
yeah, and he was talking that, yeah, he was gonna get around to all the different regions and meet and make sure that they had stuff.
Is it our,
Safe schools, the
sorry,
governor's initiative, safe schools.
yeah, our fellow clip.
We're already on our second guy.
Yeah. We did have a gentleman that came and he did meet with us and walk through the schools and looked at our safety procedures, but then that fellow has since left.
I think that was the trouble, there's only a few of them covering the whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a-
And it really doesn't have like a punch card. They just came in and, okay, well, we can do this, you gonna give us the money, and it's really,
I had recommendations, but nothing funded.
right.
Seems like that happens a lot.
Well, communication would be huge. And I would think that, I mean, I know that the state police and the deputies and all them, that they communicate, we communicate with them all the time, and with EMS through the channels that you're familiar with. And, but I think it would be good to have something.
Just who would be in charge if something, you know, happened.
Well, there would be different people that would be in charge considering what would happen.
It could be interesting
Yeah.
if they all roll in at the same
Could be
time.
a cluster.
But we're gonna put our drill in place here so that we can, make sure we have everything that we need to be able to have access to ready. God forbid, it's the last thing anybody wants to have to deal with, but you don't want something to happen and not be prepared for it. So we just need to make sure we know what's going on. And then we'll involve outside agencies and add our next layer to it so they can start thinking about those things too.
Yeah. It's definitely things we need to look at. So the more prepared that you are for any situation like that. I mean, that's the beauty of EMS, that there are steps. So that you might be scared stupid, but you have those
You know what
steps
to do
drilled
next.
in you and you know exactly what you need to do, and that's what we need to do with that. But I mean, if you want us to call Jim and find out what that guy's name is, but he act like he himself would come.
Okay. I mean, we can definitely talk to him. See if he's gonna be in the panhandle and set something up, and
I'll call Jim.
maybe he needs to attend one of the LAPC meetings too. That might be a good idea.
You have sniper training? Did you have sniper training?
John Ross.
Oh,
Ellis, I see meetings, sometimes, by the time we get the information, the meeting's already happening or something. I just noticed more of this when I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Could they email those meeting dates and times and all that for their agenda out? Possibly, I think we talked about that once before.
Yeah, I think they were gonna send all that stuff. Yes, we did. Yeah, I told them that.
Noticed, I think it was elementary school didn't have a time on theirs.
Yeah,
All
Julie
that
had all her stuff.
Yeah, but it needs to be posted, was accessible to everyone.
Yes. Have they had their show?
Which one?
MES that you're talking about? It happened, okay.
And it never has time, I think I don't remember what time it is, but
Okay.
that needs to be on their agenda for sure.
Okay. Let's not make sure.
Anybody else? Okay, so announcements, our next Board of Ed meeting is at East Hardy High School on September 16th, and it will start at 5 o'clock. And where will we meet?
The library.
At the library. Okay. Mission statements and accomplishments.
well, we're glad Janet Rose is recuperating well. We were worried about you.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I'm doing baby steps and getting better every day at a time. Every day is a little better.
Good.
When you feel like talking, give me a call.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
It's only been the last, I guess, 2 days that I actually have felt like talking. Before that, it
Didn't
was-
have the
it was
energy.
work.
That's wonderful. to
Before
hear.
that, it was work.
Have we had any football games so far? Any
I
games?
don't think anybody wants to talk about.
That shocked me, the one score. You expect to lose to Frankfurt or Moorfield, but I didn't know Josh C. was in. He had a 500 record against them, which is, like I said, Frankfurt's always a good test, but you kind of expect to lose. But I was shocked by the East Hardy Wahoma score. But someone said Wahoma was pretty good.
Very good. Yeah, very good.
Okay, so are we ready to go into personnel? Excuse me. Do we need an executive session for anything?
I add on if you are doing it.
Anybody else need anything to go into executive session? Okay.
I guess the first thing would be my goals, right?
Mhm.
And then in a second on the goals, and we can discuss them.
I thought they all looked good.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So a motion and a second to approve the superintendent's goals for 2024-2025 school year. Any discussion?
I'll just point out that goal 1 and goal 2 are also two goals that are your goals. That are goal 1 and 2, they're the same. I did change the action steps. There are things that fall more under my responsibility initially that I added there, while there were things that fell under your all that were a little different. So those vary slightly, but I'll give you updates as we progress through the year on those. And I think I need to make a change. Oh, that should say 23-24 on goal 2 under the measurement. Yeah, it's compared to, yeah, I'm sorry, those dates are off. I just noticed that. 24 to 24-25. Year in balance, it's all update that. But otherwise, yeah, a little behind on it, but that's all I wanted to point out.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And if opposed, and it's approved 5-0.
I would recommend the approval of the personnel actions as presented.
Motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation.
Second.
I just have one question. In 76, what is forfeiture and duty-free lunch option 1? I've never
Yes.
seen that before.
So, last year we had some pre-K folks asking about getting their lunch, because they eat lunch and breakfast with the students. And so part of their responsibility is to model table, how to sit at a table and have a family style meal. And so because they do not get a duty-free lunch, we give them the option of getting the free meals, giving up that duty-free lunch and making up the time on Friday, getting the extra time on Friday. Or they can choose to not eat with the kids and get their lunch, and we provide coverage. So they have options they're given, and they have to fill out a form. And so that's an example of one of the teachers that chose that option.
What is option?
I would have to look at the form.
I'm just curious.
I don't remember which is which. Hold on, regarding forfeiture, pretty much effect option 1. I can tell you for sure and send that out to you. I'm not sure if
I'm
that
just
person.
curious. Like I said, I've never seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, I apologize. Jennifer, are you on the call?
She's not with me.
Okay, all right, I thought maybe she was, Janet. I was gonna say she might know off the top of her head. I'll have to tell you.
No, I don't know.
No problem.
That's all I have.
Okay, so are we ready to vote? All those in favor of the recommended personnel actions signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and they're approved 5-0.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a
Aye.
motion and a second, and Janet's ready to go. Aye.
Aye.
Take care, Janet.